Hello, brothers and sisters of Local 163. With this pandemic, we're not allowed to do in-person meetings, so we wanted to have a communication with the membership. This will be live streamed it's live streamed right now on our website and also on your mobile phones if you've got the text. You're going to hear some reports from officers and committee chairs. We decided to do the live streaming method because Zoom is a little bit more difficult to deal with when you have multiple people on Zoom. You typically get people that are difficult to control because of the people talking in the background. They may be doing dishes, or it just creates a lot of noise in the back, and you can't always hear the people that are speaking. So in this live streaming, you should have the ability to text in the text chat, in the chat session, to put in questions if you have at the end of the report. So if you have any that you would like to submit when the officers and committee chairs finish their report, you can put your question in that chat box. First, I'd like to also welcome all the new members into our local. We've had a lot. You would have never have thought with the pandemic that our businesses would be as strong as they are currently. So I'd like to welcome all our Appendix A transfers and all our recently hired members. I wanted to also put up the letter from Rory stating that we're not allowed to have in-person meetings until April 15th. So Ryan should be working to put that on the screen so you can see it. It's on there right now, Ryan? Okay. Yeah, so at the earliest, it looks like April 15th will be the date that we can have in-person meetings again. If it's extended, we'll get more communication on it. So the next thing I would like to put up is a financial report.
I'll go ahead and put up page 2 at this time. It says net income was $259,923.92.
Okay.
Total of all funds, $898,306.70.
Okay, so that was our financial report. We're obviously we're moving in the right direction. Which we did have some slim months, because we did have during the pandemic. We did have quite a few months where the plants were closed for shutdown by state order, but we seem to be back up on back into production full steam. So next thing I'd like to talk about, February 20th, we were elected our new president. Joe Biden was sworn in. He could be the most pro-labor candidate we've had since FDR. So we, at this point, the Democrats control Congress by a very slim margin in the Senate, but there is some possibility to really push through some pro-labor legislation like the PRO Act, which would ban right to work throughout the nation, and then also raising the minimum wage to $15 an hour. So there could be some light at the end of the tunnel for workers. The next thing I'd like to talk about too is the UAW and the Justice Department came to an agreement on a consent decree. The judge just approved it, so the UAW has 30 days to submit names of 3 monitors to the Justice Department for to oversee the UAW for the next 6 years. After that, there was a very important thing that's going to happen. The monitor will oversee a referendum vote, which will take place within the next 6 months as to whether we continue our delegate system of electing our international president and our international officers in the 2022 when they're up for re-election. You'll get to decide if you want to continue the delegate system or a one-person, one-vote system. So at that point, after this gets out, we don't have all the details, but they will, as they come along, I'll get more information and I'll make sure to pass it along to you, the member. The next thing that we've been doing is at Grupo Antolin and Howell. We've had an organizing drive. I know you've seen some of it, past meetings talking about it, still ongoing. One of the things that we were looking to do at the very onset of it was to create an electronic card. Because of the pandemic, the workers are limited in their movement within that plant. Now they can come to our website, or they can get one of their coworkers. They can pass along a form, and they can decide to join the UAW electronically. So if you if you're on our website, you'll probably see a promo code to the right. You click on that. For Grupo Antolin, Union, yes. But this is only for the workers at Grupo Antolin Howell to fill that form out. So no one else would fill it out, just those workers at Grupo Antolin and Howell. The other item that we've done extensively with our communications department and with the assistance of our very talented Ryan Martin, we've been videos. We finished a VCAP video in December. It's been put on our website in January, and then we also did a mobile texting. So these are also being put in our new member orientation. So the last group that was in our new member orientation class has seen those videos. Right now there is a little bit of a glitch. It's not on our website. I hopefully can have it fixed by next week. So then you can, it was up there, but something happened. We'll have to look at with embedding the code for those videos. Also, I wanted to apologize to any members that may be here from UAW Local 160. In November of last year, accidentally sent out, you probably saw in your mobile texting, there was a text about a live stream ratification meeting that was mistakenly sent to you. That only difference was Local 160 and Local 163, so I accidentally clicked on it. And then what happened by sending that message in November, when we did this about this live stream meeting, you were added to our group. So it's been fixed at this point. You're no longer in our texting group, but you were mistakenly sent out this text about this meeting. So we do apologize and any confusion and that it did cause. The next thing that we have finished was our trustees finished their semi-annual audit last week. Our international, we got a new international auditor. They audit our books every 3 years. They picked it up last Friday. The new international auditor is Jim Stanton. We used to have Manny Romero. I think they just changed the assignment. I'm not really sure why they switched it to Manny. I had heard that it was because he was doing some of the bigger locals, been specifically assigned to. Jim came from originally from the Lordstown, Ohio local. So I first talked to him on the telephone, but first time actually talking to him in person was last Friday. The next thing I'd like to talk about is our project we got going in the back, the Pavilion Storage area that we are looking at adding in the back. We talked about it when we last January when we did our about our back parking lot. We talked that yes, we would look at doing that Pavilion Storage. So we decided on pushing forward with this project. We had 3 bids put in for architectural drawings. We ended up going with Wade Hoppy. He's an architect, lots of experience in doing pavilions. He actually did the one in Romulus, so we actually looked at firsthand at one of the pavilions that he helped design. So we have the finished drawing. Ryan, do you have the drawing on the website?
Yep.
So you can, if you're looking at the drawing right now, you can see that it is combined. The storage will be in the front, Then behind it will be the pavilion, so it'll all be attached. So there'll be a door, a garage door that'll face our back parking lot, and then there'll also be a side door, and there'll be another side door that will allow you entry into the pavilion area. This is going to be on the south west side of our lot, so you'll see it. It'll be like next to the golf course, and going parallel with the golf course west. So it's we got the design. We've put it out for bid with union contractors. We decided we had the skills, we would do the electrical for it. So we plan on doing the electrical ourselves and contracting out the pavilion storage. We're also looking at some of our members, if they have the skill sets to do the pavilion storage. We're open to having them look at, and if they've got the capability to do it, we may go with that option too. But right now we just have the prints and we've sent it out for bid. So that should be a nice addition once we get back to in-person events, our picnic and stuff like that. That'll be really useful for these types of events. The last item I would like to talk about is the newsletter. You can see that it's pretty willy. We thought it was a great photo, a legendary man that worked at Detroit Diesel for 62 years, hired in 1952, so he recently retired, but unfortunately he also recently passed. But I had a nice photo with him and Barack Obama. Next one we have is my article with the President's Report. Next page we go to the Vice President's Report. Talked a little bit about the Grupo Antolin organizing. Next page is a financial report. And that you can probably see more clearly with the financial report than what we had previously, because it'll show the entire report. Next one we had, this was good too, JT, our newest trustee, did an article on the audit that he had just finished and what the responsibilities of a trustee. Terence had an update from the Romulus powertrain. One of the things was a lot of our new hires, and welcome them to, not our new hires, but our temporary employees were converted into full-time. So we have some photos of that taking place. We had Dan Jones talking about the Oakwood Group and some of the things that they're being worked on over there. And Renee Morgan talked about a worker being killed at another UAW facility on a job, which really had an impact and touched her, so she wanted to speak about it. Next one is Pete Potts and Mitchell Fox giving a couple district reports at the Romulus plant. Next one's another district report. Dale talks about White Shirt Day coming up soon in February. Roy does retiree chapter report, and then Melissa Donner talks about the Women's Committee and some of the things they're working on. Next one's Larry Dietz and Tamia Buckley talking about the EAP program and the work family. The next one's Ruben talking about some veterans that retired, worked at the Romulus plant. Connie had recently, her and Tony had done eulogy for Brandy at the funeral, so I had some pictures of that. She had some scriptures. Doug Sadowski talked a little bit about the apprenticeship program and the testing going on. Jeff Hansen talked about the apprenticeship program going on and some of the other stuff with at the plant. Kim Spall talked about the Day of Service event that I'm sure Kevin Martin will expand on more when he does his committee report. This is with Daniel Ryder doing the donation that we did to the strikers down in Toledo, Ohio, the Teamsters. Chris Wright was with them. They carried wood down there. The local donated the wood for that strike, but they were delivering it to there. We had Andrea Ham talk about workers' comp. These are some of the businesses that supported us during the 2019 GM strike. These are some of the videos too that I had talked about. They're like I said, they're currently not on the website, but if you go to the newsletter online, you can see a couple new videos that we had made, and we're going to continue to make more videos in 2021 as we go throughout the year. This was a remembrance of Pretty Willie. John Carter talks about the struggle that African Americans had to get established the right to vote, what they went through and how difficult it was to fight for that right to vote. Rashida Davis talks about Kamala Harris and breaking the ceiling for the first woman as vice president. A little more on that. Ray, politically speaking, talks a little bit about the past 4 years under the Trump era in labor. And then on the next page,
That's page 2.
Andrew Lewis talks about the PRO Act and how that legislation can help working men and women. And then that would conclude the newsletter portion. That was all that I had for the president's report. So we'll go to the next committee report. Who wants to go next? Gibby, you want to, or you want Terence?
I can.
Okay. Gibby's going to give a report from the DDC plant.
Thanks, Ralph. Thanks, Mark. We good, Ryan?
Yep.
Yeah. I could actually wear this now. That's for Ryan. He's not a big Michigan fan, right? Football, terrible. Worst team I've seen. But hoops, they're doing pretty good. So, real good. Anyway, welcome. I heard Ralph was just talking about Pretty. Yeah, that's our friend, Pretty, and love Di. That's the family, obviously. But Di sent a little something from the family. This is from Pretty. For each uttered prayer, for each lovely card, for each beautiful flower, for all your comforting words, your visits, and your many acts of kindness, we say thank you. Please accept our sincere gratitude to know that your love and your support have meant more to us than mere words could ever express. May the blessings of God be yours forever and ever. God bless the family of the late Willie S. Carter. Pretty Willie. God bless him. That's a sad one, obviously. I mean, there's been so many friends and family that have died in the plant. One of the most recent ones, a friend of mine, and a lot of it was Mark Wallace. Lost a quick, aggressive battle with cancer. When we were little kids. Actually, first touchdown I ever got in the Silverdome, Mark tipped the ball. I didn't know what I was doing. I caught a ball and I ran through the end zone and scored. But God bless him. And like I said, Melissa works with us. She appreciated all the support. She's in our machine shop, so reach out to her if you get time. And then she loves everyone in there, so did Mark. So anyway, and like I said, there's been so many deaths. I mean, the COVID's taken its toll. We all know that. But, especially these older family members and whatnot. And it's been just, hard on everyone. So hang in there. Hey, it sucks. The masks, they suck. I get it. I've had some members of mine at least be able to get out because of, being having trouble breathing. Their physician might take them out. They're out on medical or whatever. And, I told them there's ways out if you can't wear it. It's just right now in our plant, it's mandated through the health department. I know some people say, well, it's the governor and their orders. No, this is the health department. They've been in our plant. That's one of the conditions, people, and I get it. Some people take it off. There are rules, but it's like for now, I don't know why people got to argue about it. Someone asks you to put it on, just put it on. I mean, you're supposed to wear it when you come in. I'm no different. I'll get talking. I know someone will see you. We try just not to inundate the floor. I mean, really, it's to protect the the people on the floor, the less people that are out there. So that's Daimler's policy right now, and Detroit Diesel. So anyway, we just got to deal with that. One of the other things, safety or security, ran by me was the electric vehicle area. They're asking to stay out of there, obviously, with the gas cars. I'm assuming, I looked over there, it's posted, so there's not many of those spots. So stay out of there, because they're looking to start towing or putting a boot on it, because I said, we're not going to tow during this pandemic. And I'm sure that's what some of you guys are thinking, but there are people that drive electric vehicles, and there's only certain spots they can charge them up, so be conscientious of that. So the mass I mentioned, that's, I get it. We're no different than management or the contractor, me, Ralph, it doesn't matter. It's, we have to have them. So I've heard about supervisors not wearing them, or contractor. Again, they're not exempt from it. And some people, your coworkers, aren't going to tell you either. I get that. There are people that are really afraid of the virus. Again, I don't want to get something bad to my family. I got my dad living with me. He's 76 years old with Alzheimer's. So I get it. I don't mind if someone tells me, hey, you put this on. It's no problem. Especially, I've been through these rules since it started for us March 18th of last year. But it's evolved from not having to wear them to wear them, to then it's got to be double. And, but for now, all we have to do is put something on to cover your face in Detroit Diesel. We started out the formal negotiation kickoff was Wednesday or Thursday. It was the 27th. Went good. I got the committee. It's been a lot from Zoom, and we're getting pretty used to that. But I was still in the room with some HR. We had our international reps there, and my committee was down the hall from me. Just trying to do the social distancing. But good conversation. Like I said, it's the formal process with the Germans and the leadership from DTNA, the HR. That's where the finances will be coming through, and they got to get approval from abroad. So it went well. So I rolled into the next day. They're talking about hiring. I think it's Thursday. Yeah, Thursday night. Going through the attendance and the payroll stuff. Di's doing everything she can with every one of my reps, trying to get this payroll bullshit taken care of, because it's not okay. The short version for you guys is, just before Thanksgiving, the company switched from the AE, they call it, attendance enterprise, to the Chronos. It's a new system, right? But it's not new to Daimler. That's who's authorizing this. The parent company and DTNA, they have it throughout all the other facilities. We were just the only one that still hadn't got on board, or just didn't get there. And if they were to lose one of our individuals who retired with 50-some years, it's somewhat embarrassing, but he was the one who could run it. I think the new system, from what they had told us, is gonna work, but we've had nothing but problem after problem with something. Again, me, I've took it to the top of the head of DTNA. Matt agrees they're gonna have to get a third-party audit just to go through this, because it's just not, it's the fact that they switched to the Chronos. It's also the fact that you got your ADP associated with your Voya's accounts, any of the Flex accounts. The shift premium seemed like that's been the biggest pain in the ass. And this is something Di told them too. I get so frustrated, because Diane was on top of this in the summertime, and they had their well thought out plans, but it didn't work out so good when they shipped some people from down south, and none of them come in because they all end up having this virus. So it's, again, we'll get through it. Like I said, some of it is human error happening, where they got a lot of new people within the payroll, the time office, HR not so much, but it's those two, and then they got to coordinate stuff through Portland and through there's a lady in Farmington Hills. So again, we're on top of it. Again, they're going to have some expert help coming into each area to help with this Chronos and getting those kiosks up to speed, where you can do what you did before about checking the overtime and whatnot. I was touching base on the company we want to hire. I think you guys know that, DTNA.jobs. That wasn't approved or anything like that. And I think as HR is calling people to get them through the pre-screening, they're letting them know. Is it going to happen? Yeah, everything what the company's saying, it's going to be approved, it's going to happen. That's why they're going through this pre-screening right now. And they're saying we're going to be at over 100,000 heavy duties. So that's good news. Good news going into negotiations, of course. Now, not so good news, I'm not comfortable with what I'm hearing about the medium duty. That's to be determined, but that has, it's nothing immediate, but I'm worried about that one, the life of what's going to happen with all the CO2 restrictions, where they can't sell that particular motor. So, again, that's a little bit further out, but again, that's something I just thought was relevant that I'm hearing about, so I wanted to share it. Oh yeah, something just happened when they did the layoff, so yeah, I was getting to that. I think the management, from what I heard, they announced it was because of sub. It had nothing to do with sub. They're probably right. It had to do with, it was the last minute. Thursday, as of Thursday, they were putting out 2 shifts. The valves, I guess, they were supposed to be here again. We got to understand, people are going through the same shit we're going through. COVID, you don't know, what handcuffs other companies and suppliers. That's late Thursday. By the time I got in to see Matt early, by 9 a.m., they still weren't sure how many shifts were going out. Was it 2? Was it 1.5? So obviously the call was made to put out the day shift. Never was that contemplated why, or the only fact was if they announced it to you guys right now, they still could let afternoons off. They're going out, right? They still were at 2. So I heard what the foreman said out there, or the supervision. Again, there's a lot more to that, but and don't think sub ain't one of the top items you guys are asking for either. So that could be some relevancy there too. Take that for what it's worth. But anyone that's out this week, get with their benefits. Tony and Ray and Lawrence were out there giving out the packets Friday. The good news is if you didn't have the sub for whatever reason, there's still that $300 extra from the government. So, that might minimize the impact. But like I said, I got some ideas too. We're in the contract negotiations, so we'll come out with something. Like I said, it's going to be, the only thing I can ask you guys, you got to be supportive. You can't, you got to, we're in a contract right now. You got to be supportive of your committee. You got to, understand what you're doing out there. Everything matters. Like I said, let us get through the contract. We were successful ever since I've been in office. We've been doing fine. There's things I'm trying to get back that were lost before I got in. We took care of the COLA. We took care of the top wage. People couldn't make more than $23.76. And by 13, we had that fixed. So we don't have a 2-tier in there. It's a progression. Again, I'll get things lowered. I talked to some guys during the campaign. I think I know why, the emphasis of sub was, an individual out there that kind of misled some folks, because the true value of sub, I get it. And again, I want to get it for everyone, and we will, but the monetary value is when you have 10 years and top rate. So take that for what it's worth. That's the way it's set up. There is money though at when you have a year, you don't even trigger sub without a year. The companies always work with me on these layoffs where they didn't have anything, and I got them the medical and stuff. So again, work with me in there, guys. And like I said, support your committee, support your reps out there. We got alternates doing the best they can. Everything you guys are thinking of, like I said, I don't mind a text here and there, just to let me know what's going on. But remember, I'm also doing the costs, I'm doing the finances right now. So just bear with it. If you need something and it's emergency, let me know. Let your committee man know. Let your alternate know. Ralph's always there. Rod Hurd. All right. Anyway, I think that's about all I got. God bless you guys. Have a good night.
All right, at this point, Terence Jones, shop chairman at Romulus Global Propulsion Systems, will be giving his report.
Good morning, everyone. Let me start my report by saying that for those who are participating this morning, thank you. This is our way of giving you the information under the current environment. So I'm glad that Ralph and Ryan have made this the opportunity for us to get the information out the best way we can to the membership. So going into my report, settlement updates, just to let you know that shop committee has sat down with management to put together a timeline to get those demand settlements done that we won during the recently ratified local agreement, and we are doing our best and consistently holding them to fulfill those settlements in a timely manner. Some may take longer than others, but you know, we are on them weekly to get these things done. For example, the current status of our 2021 shoe program, the purchase request has been put through the approval process. Upon the insurance of the purchase order, the vendor anticipates a 2-week turnaround to set up our program. The current start is targeted for the week of the 22nd, and the program will begin with employees being able to go on the online store or to the Redford location to make purchases. All of that is subject to change, but right now that's the time frame. The earbud policy, the new earbud policy was rolled out this week in the team meeting communications. So all the questions that we had on the floor from the old communications being put out should be put to bed by now. That was something that we went through daily to get going, because we know that we had a lot of misinformation being put out on the earbud policy and the new agreement. Finally, management has informed me that the grievance settlements for the trades has been processed. So Pete stayed on them to try to make sure that the payment didn't come out at the same time as the vacation pay showed up. So look for that to go through in the next week or two, so that we can get that done before profit sharing comes up. Right now, we're in the midst of, tomorrow starts the vacation sign-up period. So vacation sign-up period will start tomorrow throughout the month of February. Make sure if you have any problems signing on to HHC to schedule your vacation time, you get with me or one of your committee men, and we'll be glad to help you. You know, you can come up to the office and we'll help you out either in the work center or my office. We have several stations set up to help people out who has trouble getting in, because we know we've been having some HHC problems, and all the kiosks on the floor don't seem to be working properly. Management has this week, according to the national contract, to come to me and the shop committee with the scheduled if we'll have a shutdown period for the summer, for the summer shutdown. As of right now, subject to change, we will have a 1-week shutdown during the week of the 4th of July. So that's pretty much what it's going to be, but it's always subject to change, and the official communication should come out by the end of this week. The schedule on the floor right now remains the same, the 2 on and 1 off. Our schedules are pretty steady. I know there's rumors and talk of supplier issues with our customer, and that hasn't directly impacted us at Romulus just yet. You know, anything that affects us right now, it'll be with pulling Saturdays from the schedule, but no weekly scheduling has been affected as of now. So the schedule remains the same, 2 on and 1 off, and its schedule is strong on the GRX side. Also, we will just want to inform everyone, just like this meeting, we will resume our unit meetings every third Thursday of the month here at the Union Hall, and we'll do it as a stream, and we'll do it every other month and go through just like normal, but only through a stream starting February 18th, and we've set up with Ralph the schedule for the rest of the month. So, for the rest of the meetings until we're able to get back to regular type of unit meetings. So be on the lookout for information for that. Manpower wise, currently the plant is at 1,133 and 1,231 including the temps. just looking over things before I go into this other part. As usual, Romulus has been chosen again to be the pilot for a program that they're looking into. This all goes into trying to do as much as we can to ensure the safety of our membership in the plant. So this week they will be rolling out a survey, information for just a survey to see how many people would take the vaccination. The information will be rolled out in the communications during your team, your startup meetings and everything like that. So be on the lookout for that. I don't have a whole lot of details. I just know that it's coming. It's not a bad thing and it's not a mandatory thing, but we would like maximum participation to show that Romulus does care and want to continue to be the unit that the corporation comes to for these programs. So in my reports, I've been having conversations with management about resuming my COVID updates, and we came to an understanding. There were a few things that they didn't like about it, but they got the point that it was important to the membership that they are made aware of what's going on in the plant. So currently right now in the COVID update, as of the report from Friday, we have 11 total employees in COVID protocol. 2 of the 11 tested positive and are out on sick leave. 4 of the 11 are in 3-day isolation period. 5 of the 11 are in 10-day isolation period. 3 of those 4 isolated were due back as of the 29th. 0 employees were tested on site as of on Friday. In the chairman's report that I'm putting out on the floor this week, numbers will be posted. There will be numbers for you to call in if you're feeling sick or been around someone who's been exposed. The membership has been doing a good job of looking out for one another and calling their team if they're exposed or been around someone. So continue to look out for each other. I know that we have some shortcomings on the management side and how they contact trace, but the membership themselves is doing a good job of looking out for one another. So keep that up. And if you're feeling sick or you heard that one of your team members was exposed, go to medical and let them know that you worked around that person and get the assessment. Now, just for advice reasons, I'm going to let you know, don't volunteer to take the test. Let them assess you and give you the test. Therefore, because if you volunteer and say, I want to get a test, they're going to send you out and you're not going to get paid. But if they assess you to say that you need a test, you will be compensated for the time off that they give you, whether it's a full 2 weeks, a 3-day isolation period, or being exposed from a family member. Just to give you that point and give you the heads up. Try to cut down the confusion because we have a lot of battles on trying to get people paid and a lot of misunderstandings of why people don't get paid. So with that being said, I'm going to end my report and thank you again for tuning in to this and see you next time. Have a good one and stay safe.
Next to report out will be our Vice President, Albert.
Good morning, brothers and sisters. My report, try to keep it short. I wanted to talk a little bit about my news article. A group of us from the UAW, we called members in Georgia to support John Ossoff and Ralph L. Warnock. And it was with great pride that we are happy that we did help them get elected. We called probably 20,000 people that were UAW members or former members. Also, want to talk about, Ralph touched a little bit on our organizing at Grupo. We got the electronic cards and I'm excited about that because with the electronic cards, in that facility, they've been tied down pretty tight with where they could and couldn't go. So this will give us an avenue to get information to the workers and get the car assigned. When we get the car assigned, then we can finally move to an election. And once we get to the election, we'll be successful. Also on the education front, want to talk about, we met with Bob King, Ralph and I, and Terence, and the education committee, John Carter, Arlene, and Malik Ferguson. When we talking about getting some more educational support for some of the committee members at the GM facility, and we also are working on doing a little bit more on the race and class and how it affects us as workers. Plus, we wanted to also do one of the things I'm looking forward to with Bob King and education. We're going to do some classes on how to have hard conversations. It's something that I believe everyone can use, especially during the times that we're in, with the political times that we're in. It will help us have better discussions and not necessarily be ready to fight each other. So I'm looking forward to that. Finding tools that we can use to have discussions, get our point of view, make sure we are heard, and make sure that we listen. And that is all I have for today. And everybody stay safe. Be safe out there.
Now we will move on to committee chairs. At this point, our Civil Rights Chairperson, Kevin Martin, will report out on the happenings within the UAW Local 163 Civil Rights Committee.
Good morning. I'm Kevin Martin. I'm the Civil and Human Rights Chairperson at Romulus GPS. Greetings today. I would just like to talk a few minutes about the Civil Rights Committee. The Civil and Human Rights Committee is an essential guardian of the no discrimination policy of our union. Members of this committee fulfill the local union's commitment to assure members full rights regardless of religion, race, creed, color, sex, political affiliation, or nationality, age, disability, marital status, or sexual orientation, gender identity, or gender expression. The committee informs members of steps and procedures, including filing complaints and hearings, whenever a member or members believe that their rights have been violated, either by management or by other members. The committee works towards the elimination of discrimination in the workplace, the community, and the nation. Members of this committee have the opportunity to keep the local union moving forward toward the fulfillment, of our union UAW commitment and the civil rights front. This committee needs members who feel a moral obligation to speak out on the issues of intolerance, injustice, and bigotry, and to rebuke any person or group that expresses such activity. The procedure for filing a civil rights complaint at Romulus is that you go through your local committee person first and try to resolve the issue on the shop floor. If it can't be resolved, the committee person will take the issue to Terence Jones, the shop chairman, for further evaluation. If necessary, I will be called in to investigate the matter and decide what the issues are. My advice to all of you members, all of my members, is to, if you perceive that you're having a problem with harassment for any reason, to start documenting your case early on, with date, time, and what happened, so that when the investigation, if it comes to that, you'll have proof of what happened, and you have a diary of what happened, so you can better determine what happened. So that's the procedure, and I think that's all I have for right now.
The next committee to report out will be our Veterans Committee. J. Rod will report out on the UAW Local 163 Veterans Committee.
Good afternoon. I'm the new chair for the Veterans Committee, and I just want to touch on some points I will be putting out in the newsletter, a little bit about me, my background, things of those natures. I got to get with Ralph and Terence on some things as far as we have a lot of veterans out there that might need some help. So I'm going to be trying to set some things up with the VA to have a spokesperson come down, and so we can get like a claim started, because a lot of veterans really don't realize that they need help until they meet with other veterans to find out, they're saying, hey, I got the same problem as you do. So that's one of my goals this year. One of my other goals is to get my membership up with the committee. I will be, like I said, getting with Ralph and Terence, and then getting the numbers of how many veterans we have in 163, and then going from there. If you have any questions of how to join the committee, Veterans Committee, you don't have to be a veteran to join. Okay, let's get that. I'm going to put that out there right now. So if you want to join the committee, get with Ralph, and there's a form, I believe, that you have to fill out, and then we'll get in contact with you after that. So thank you, and I look forward to meeting you guys and support the Veterans Committee.
Gibby has one other thing he'd like to talk about.
Hey guys, one thing that came up, and we do share the reports that HR gets for the plant manager that are being shared with Daimler and the International Union. We haven't had a contact case, which is remarkable in our plant. We've had some scares, obviously. So obviously something we're doing is right. Just remember that, because we haven't had one, and I hope it stays that way. But I thought you guys would appreciate that. So anyway, have a good night.
We'll conclude this communication, and we'll either have another one in March or April, depending on how the schedule looks and if they free it up for in-person communication. Well, I thank everybody for tuning in, listening to our updates at our local 163 union, and I appreciate your time, and look forward to seeing you all in the future. Bye.